And that gets tempting sometimes, right, to put as much right in the body that we can. So just be careful about that. But Robert's Rules of Orders is very, very good about, again, and I think it's been added to as time has gone on, and how to run a good meeting, what works, how to do it, how do we handle certain things. So it's great to have in place. But basically, and that's what this, does everyone have this hand up?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so this should help you with how we run a meeting, how we let people speak, the right language to use. Because sometimes, and I don't know if it's ever happened to you, right, but meetings get a little heated and we're officers and we forget we're officers sometimes, right? We get upset, we get emotional, we're people too. But there are certain ways to take care of things. And just because our audience isn't being very mature at times, you still need to be. So it's really important that you guys follow Robert's Rules of Orders and remember what the rules are on how to talk and what you can and can't do in meetings, so that you at least keep the upper hand with that. And that's important because it's your meeting. So we are able to allow the public to speak and ask questions at certain times, but it is your meeting. And so you have an agenda. That was the purpose of the meeting. And so if something isn't agendized and somebody wants to talk about it, they can in their public comment section talk about it, but you're not going to then comment back because it's not agendized. So you've got to be really careful. There's slight comments you can make, but you're not going to start making decisions or give direction. Okay, so, and that can be hard in meetings. People want to interrupt each other. You have to give everyone a chance to talk before everybody else talks. It's hard, especially during emotional things. And I don't know if you have any questions on Robert's Rules of Order. I try to do the cheat sheet for you just to try to help you out.
No, this is really great.
It's going to cover most things, but it's easy to say it covers everything, right? Because weird things happen all the time to us. But if you have any questions, I can take it. This is just really to help you if you get in a situation where you need a cheat sheet. I have a cheat sheet. So, any questions? Yeah. So your agendas, remember there are rules on having agendas, posting agendas. Use the 72-hour rule. It's less for emergency meetings, I understand, but the less emergency meetings you have, the better. There's a district that I work with in Southern California called Inglewood that was taken over by the state, and you never want to go there. But I spent a lot of time there. And every meeting they hold, the board, and there is no board anymore in Inglewood. It's one person gets to be the board and the superintendent, and that's a lot of power, right? He doesn't have any regular meetings. They're all emergency meetings now. And he holds them at 10 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon when staff can't go, people can't go. It's amazing. They're all emergency. They're all really horrid times when nobody can go. That's not the way to run business, right? I mean, it's a way to make sure that nobody else is going. And really legally, the stuff he's doing it's legal, but it's wrong. So, we don't use these provisions to get away from people attending our meetings. So the 72-hour rule, regular meetings, posting agendas, it's the right thing unless you have a true emergency. And we might all define an emergency different, but we also have common sense. So what's happening in Inglewood is not okay. If it happened once in a while, he doesn't care, but it doesn't matter. So then you might have a special meeting, and the rules are different. What'd you say? I'm sorry. I love inappropriate. Special meetings, it is the 24-hour rule. Okay, so remember that. But again, I really would urge you to keep your special or your emergency meetings to a minimum, because it's really not fair to everybody else. And plus, it doesn't give you really time to prepare well, right? It really doesn't, unless it's really a true emergency, and they happen. So have you guys ever had to continue a meeting?
Yes, sort of. We've had to extend it, and then we've had to, I guess, continue a couple of agenda items for the next meeting.
So there's certain rules with that, and you guys probably followed them fine. Just be sure you're doing that. Extending meetings, that's good, right? If it says your meeting's going to end a certain time, or you have to extend them, make sure you're following. Again, if you have a rule in place, make sure you're following them. If you have to continue a meeting, there's certain rules about the agendas and when you have to hold. So just